How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So tell us who Mary is.
Where do I start from? I would describe myself as an individual who thrives on new experiences and new adventures. Hence the reason why I made a big transition from a previous career into tech with no prior experience or, falling with technology in the first place. Mary is a co-founder and CEO of a company called Mowblox. And we train developers on how to build blockchain solutions in Ghana. That's it for me.
Amazing. So what did you transition from?
Previously, I was running operations in the hospitality industry.
From hospitality to tech?
Yeah, from hospitality to tech. And I did that for 4 years. Ran a couple of businesses. But before then, I have a background in food science and technology. So I was running my own bakery as well. I used to make cakes and stuff.
Do you still make them?
No.
Oh, why? Anyways, what influenced the decision to transition to tech?
I think a big part of my life, I constantly ask myself, what next? In personal relationships, in professional relationships, whatever it is, my big question is usually, what next? So while I was working, I realized that even though I had all the soft skills and all these amazing experiences with, the hospitality industry, I kept asking myself, what am I going to do next? What next? I'm never really satisfied with one thing, So, like I said, I crave new experiences and, just trying to do a lot more things. So I think what influenced that was the fact that even though I believed I was excellent at what I was doing, I still felt like there was a gap that needed to be filled.
Yeah.
And that gap was that I wasn't very technically inclined. So a lot of tiny things that I believed shouldn't be a problem that I couldn't end up doing, I had to outsource them to people. And every time I did that, it annoyed me.
I thought it was
I was like, okay, you know what? I need to learn a bit about tech. Started from digital marketing, managed a couple of social media businesses, and just gradually went from there to content creation. Then I found myself learning front-end development and product design and everything. And hey, here I am.
How's that journey been?
I'm not going to tell you it's been easy because it hasn't been. While the pretty stories are nice and good, I would say that I've probably aged 5 times faster. But rewarding it has been. But stressful it has been as well.
More stressful?
Yeah, especially when you're very, somebody like me who really wants to get things done. I end up, putting everything I have into a venture I set in to do. So it has been very rewarding. Lots of sleepless nights and lots of happy moments as well and wins as well.
Amazing. Once it's been rewarding and you are happy about it, that's really great. You are the co-founder and CEO of Mowblox.
Yeah.
Tell us about Mowblox. Why did you decide to start Mowblox?
Well, I co-founded Mowblox with 3 other colleagues.
Okay.
One Nigerian. Oh, I'm Nigerian, by the way.
We are coming to that story, definitely. Fisher, definitely.
I started Mowblox with 3 other co-founders, 1 Nigerian and 2 Ghanaians.
Yeah.
And I think what really brought us together was MEST. So we started out from MEST as colleagues, as entrepreneurs in training, the Meltwater Entrepreneurial School of Technology. And from there, we built our business. We got invested in by MEST. MEST invested in us. And from there, we just decided, one of the main reasons we decided to push for Mowblox was being in the blockchain industry for over, I think, since 2020. I was in that space since 2020. Yeah. I started out curious about cryptocurrencies and all that. Then I got to understand that there is a whole other world in the blockchain ecosystem that has nothing to do with cryptocurrency. From metaverse to gaming to Internet of Things, there's a whole lot. And interacting with people over time just made me realize that in Africa, we need a lot more awareness and education about technology. What you don't know, you can't use. So it was one of the things that pushed myself and my co-founders to really learn about, okay, how do we pick people up and, just get them to integrate them into the space, build this awareness and adoption. If you are making an informed decision based on what you know and you have really learned about something, then it's better than avoiding something because you have no idea. So let's teach you, let's bring people up to speed about what you can do in the blockchain space, because it's not going anywhere.
Definitely, it's not going anywhere. It looks like so. Mowblox is more about education.
Yes, we're about more about education.
So you mentioned that you are a Nigerian.
Yes,
and
I am.
You co-founded Mowblox.
Yes, I am.
How come you're in Ghana? What happened? Have you relocated? Are you here permanently? Tell us that story. I'm interested.
I'm in and out of Ghana most times, but I primarily came to Ghana because of MEST, like I mentioned. So it was meant to be a one-year training. So that's what brought me to Ghana.
You love Ghana? You stayed? Oh, you don't love Ghana?
Well, I think Nigeria and Ghana are like twins.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We have our differences and similarities.
We have those sentiments, but we still love each other. So being in Ghana still feels like I'm home.
Okay.
Or a home with a little more, when you go to your grandma's house and you're just trying to relax and chill. I love the vibe. It's cool. I love the people. It didn't make me miss home too much. So yeah, it's cool to be here.
So you've been here for how many years?
On and off for the last 2 years.
Okay.
Or in and out for the last 2 years, rather. Yeah.
Cool. Mary, you are a female tech founder. Stressing on the female part, because I'm come to ask you a question about it. You are in a male-dominated industry, which is the tech industry, and you are a female co-founder. How's that been? How challenging has it been? Because I know it's been challenging, but how challenging has it been? What have been the challenges since going to MEST? Do you have more guys than ladies than MEST? Or is balanced?
No, it's not. No, it's not. I mean, MEST tries very hard to be very inclusive and bring a lot of women into the space. But as well, that the problem is not just the tech space. The problem is also the willingness of ladies to get into the space and try lots of things. So I would say that it's been... I wouldn't say it has been very challenging for me.
Okay.
Or even if it has been, maybe I've not really noticed. But I would say that for me, it has just really been about knowing what you want to do, knowing why you want to do it, and doing it regardless of whoever is in the room or not in the room. So I barely notice if there are 50 guys and there's just me. I don't notice it, to be honest. At the end of the day, maybe it has something to do with growing up around boys. So I am not very... It's
intimidated among...
it's a common thing. But yeah, I would say that in general, I would love to see more interact with a lot more women in the space. In fact, it's one of the initiatives that a colleague and I were talking about recently, and Mowblox would want to have an event, maybe by next month or so, where we, just sit down with women and talk about coming into the space. How do we build ourselves? Because at the end of the day, the women in tech are the ones that should bring more women into tech, and I'm willing to play as much of a role as I can in doing that.
Amazing. And I really agree, and I feel that there are more opportunities for women in tech. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like amazing,
Yeah.
just to pull more women in tech.
Yeah.
So you have been in the space for a number of years. To people or ladies who are even in MEST right now going through the training, or a lady planning to go to MEST or venture into the tech space, what advice do you have for such a person?
I would say don't think.
Okay, I didn't see that coming.
Don't think.
I didn't see that coming.
As a woman, and I'm a very honest person as well.
Please
so I would
be honest.
be brutal and say that we women are overthinkers when it comes to a lot of things, right? Oh, will it work? Or what am I supposed to do in the space? I don't have any experience. But guys, I think maybe they've been blessed with doing before thinking. So half the time they just go ahead and do whatever they want to do. After that,
don't think about what you're doing.
Maybe I shouldn't have tried this, right?
Yeah.
And in the entrepreneurship world or space and tech as a whole, a lot of things people are still figuring out. So if you're waiting to have all the answers, you won't have them. And you won't make that move, right? So do not think about what skills you have. Do not think about if this is difficult. I'm saying this because I've been there, right?
Yeah,
when I wanted to get into the space, I kept asking myself, what exactly are you going to do? You have a background in food science and tech, and although the tech is there, it is not this type of tech, right? It was more thermodynamics and
lab stuff.
No, more like engineering stuff.
Oh, okay.
Right, but engineering stuff and software development and everything is not the same, you know. So engineering or learning about engineering and things like that is not really the same as software development and all that. But it took me a while, and I had to just snap at some point and say, hey, you know what? I don't have the answers, right? But I know that a lot of people who started out didn't also have the answers.
Exactly.
When I got into operations, I didn't have experience in operations. I didn't know anything about it. When I decided to study food science, I had no idea what food science was going to throw at me, right? I assumed it was going to be easy and going to be about food. Little did I know that I was going to be doing engineering courses. But did I do it? Yes. You know, so I would say don't think. Just look for the lowest or the easiest entry point, right?
Yeah.
And that's always speaking to people around you, looking for opportunities where you can volunteer, just thinking around things you can do. And we are very blessed in this day and age because we have a lot of tools that could help us get exposure to these things easily. You know, you could join forums, you could go on Twitter, you could do a lot of things and meet people. And of course, you could reach out to people like me.
Definitely.
So I would say don't think. Go ahead, do whatever you have to do. If it doesn't work, you move on to the next one. You try again. If it still doesn't work, like you mentioned, there are loads of career opportunities for women in the space, right? The fact that you are, let's say, an operations person in Web 2, I won't say Web 2, but regular. I'm so used to talking about Web 2 and Web 3. But the fact that you're running operations doesn't mean that you cannot infuse tech into that, or you cannot learn how to build an operations software to help people manage things a bit better, right? It's still what you're passionate about, but infusing a bit of tech and learning how to do these things, it really goes a long way. So yeah.
I really love that you've touched on where people can start from, because I was about coming to that. If it's resources, online courses, you can take. And I also love the fact that you mentioned you don't have to like entirely switch. No. If it's operations, you can start from there, and then you still find yourself in the tech industry, because the tech industry in Ghana is growing.
Yes,
it's small, but it's growing.
It is. I know.
I mean, you'll just be meeting each other and all of that. Nigerian
but
tech.
That's what's beautiful about it.
Ghana's tech industry is small.
It's what has helped grow so fast. I think in the last 2 years since I've been here, I have seen a lot of growth in the industry, and I think a lot more collaborations and partnerships than I did in my first year. So I think it's growing a bit more, and we're also starting to realize that there's room for everyone at the top.
Yeah. So you've been in Nigeria, I know. Okay, your tech industry, like tech journey, mainly started in Ghana. But then do you see the difference between the Nigerian tech ecosystem and that of Ghana?
Yes, I do. I've been to, like I said, I keep going in and out of Nigeria and Ghana, and proud to venturing fully into tech. I mentioned that I started getting involved in the blockchain space since 2020, and luckily I also had a lot of family and friends who were, tech inclined. So there were lots of conversations, there were events I attended and all that. And I can say that the tech ecosystem in Nigeria is a lot more robust. Because, of course, Nigeria's population is way more than Ghana, as you know. So that helps for a little more diversification in terms of who is doing what is happening in the space. So you have a lot more players in the Nigerian tech space. And I think they are more, maybe on a larger scale, they are more, involved in different types of activities, especially the fintech space. I would say that I don't think Ghana space is unique because it's more like a close-knit community that is building like a multiplier effect, right? But yeah, I think there's still a lot of similarities as well as differences.
I do agree with you because I've also seen the similarities and differences with the tech ecosystem in Ghana and Nigeria. So coming to your achievements, you've spoken about your challenges and you've started a company. What are some of the achievements you are proud of as a co-founder and CEO and in your journey like in the tech industry?
Being alive.
Your answers are so nice.
Because I'll say the truth. I'll say that as a startup founder, you have a challenge keeping your business alive. A lot of things are against you.
How do you about your funding? I'm curious.
Yeah, a lot of things are against you. Then as a startup founder in the tech ecosystem, it's an entirely different ballgame. But I would say that some of the achievements that I am proud of is that, first of all, we are alive till today. That's a major achievement. My team is still together, so yay. That's another achievement for me. But really coming down to the business itself is the impact we've made. The more people we train, the happier I am. The more impact we make, the more fulfilled I feel, It's very important to me that we are making a difference, and the whole reason we set out to build the business is being realized. Those goals are, coming to reality. For Mowblox, our vision is really to get Africa to the point where we are not just waiting for other continents to build up on these technologies, then we catch up 10 years after. We want to be able to build people in Africa or Africans to a point where we are taking the initiative and being at the forefront of innovation as well. If we're catching up, then it should be very closely, right? And that's why we're really here. We've had some partnerships with MEST. We've had hackathons, we've had boot camps, technical workshops, MEST in collaboration with APSA, MEST in collaboration with the MasterCard Foundation and the rest of them like that. We've also had some partnerships with the Toposware blockchain. So I would say it's been a bit diverse, but those are some of our achievements and some of the things we've been proud of. Last year was a good year for myself and the team, and we're hoping to make more impact in the Ghanaian tech ecosystem this year.
Amazing. And you mentioned that you train developers.
Yes.
Is it women focused or is open to?
Right now it's open to everybody. So far we have not trained so many women, but I would want to change that, or we would want to change that this year. And I think we're going to start with, just having a lot more conversations around what women can do in the space, then gradually now curate a pathway, for them to bring them into the space.
I really like what you're doing. I'm happy about it because I feel like we need more women in the tech in the tech industry, and then people think a lot about it before venturing into the tech industry. But then I also feel like the Ghana's tech ecosystem is friendly.
Yes, it is.
Very friendly.
It is. It is.
If you want to learn something,
yes,
if you want to learn something, you can come for networking events and then you're good to go.
Started.
Once you're serious.
Yes, you just have to be willing to do the work.
Yes, yes.
Nobody's going to take you up if you were not willing to do the work, you know. Currently, Mowblox is looking for volunteers and all that. So you have to be willing to get in and understand the space. And it's so amazing because the way the Ghana ecosystem is structured, tech ecosystem is structured, someone can meet you or meet me or meet anybody. Like, it's very inclusive, right?
We keep meeting each other.
And that's the good thing about the ecosystem compared to Nigeria, right? Because Nigeria is large, right? So even though we all go for these events and all, there are so many events that you might end up meeting
new faces
at
every
point in time, right?
So.
If you attend 1, 2, 3 events, you're more likely to build a good rapport with somebody that can get you into the space, and you just
I'm glad. What should we look forward to from you, from Mowblox, for this year?
For Mowblox, you can look forward to a lot more trainings. We really got into it last year, but this year we are hoping to get a lot more developers into the space and just build. So look forward to boot camps, a lot of hackathons as well, to get more practical solutions in place. But we also have something cooking for, so we also have something cooking for the developers as well. So not just learning, but building like a lab for them to be able to come into the space and just sit down and build their projects, right?
Wow.
And of course, you can also look forward to a lot more partnerships and collaborations.
Nice.
Oh,
amazing. And wrapping up, the Yairasha is about thriving young Africans like you who are doing great, who are not giving up, who are looking to make an impact. Let people know that it's possible to make a difference. And once you start, gradually, you would get there. And I believe that people out there, upcoming people, anyone out there, people who have started, need motivation, need inspiration, looking to make a difference, there are a lot of them out there. What advice generally do you have for such people?
People looking to start.
Yes, to make a difference.
To make a difference.
Not necessarily in the tech space, but then generally.
Well, I would say look within yourself first, right? There is nothing that you can do sustainably if it doesn't start with a passion that is burning inside you, right? Do not do things because others are doing it. If tech is not for you, tech is not for you. You don't have to be. You don't have to be in tech, to be honest. You can make an impact wherever you are. You can do great things no matter what you're doing, right? So just look within you, know what fire is burning inside you, and start. Just start. You might fail, but start. If you don't start, you will never know. But don't think about it too hard. Do what you have to do. Just get started.
Nice. Thank you so much, Mary. It's been a pleasure having you. And as you've heard, just start. And as I keep mentioning, Yairasha is about interviewing thriving young Africans. So if you believe in the power of inspiration, you believe in the power of shared experiences, you love Africa and you love Africans, then do subscribe and join this community, because I believe you'll be inspired and motivated. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.